I've just realized this is all you need to do. You don't even need to sing. As long as you just stand there and just do some weird shit, that's as good as. Can't tell if this is good music or shitty music. You wanna sing?
When the people go, then my mind is crying. When the children leave,
I've never heard this.
entering the world with thee. When the music plays in your fantasy,
Yes.
in the moonlight time, I remember the games of my life. Now, how old are you? Where is your harbor? Have many things to do. Open the door. Yes, I live so true without my lover. But tell me if the sky is blue. How old are you? Memories of dreams, something out of date. I saw the light of rain,
Such a cool.
but remember the days of my life. When the music plays in your fantasy, in the moonlight time, I remember the games of my life. Now, how old are you? Where is your harbor? Have many things to do. Open the door.
Obviously doesn't
Yes,
scare me.
I live so true without my lover. But tell me if the sky is blue. How old are you? Now, how old are you? Where is your harbor? Have many things to do. Open the door. Yes, I live so true without my lover. But tell me if the sky is blue. How old are you?
straight into it.
Live. You're no longer able to interact with the show, so please do not call or text, as you may still be charged. Hope you enjoy the show.
The Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, has said that if you're born a man, the law will always see you as a man. The big gender debate on Nolan Live tonight, also coming up. A 4-year-old little girl who's been told she might have to wait up to 5 years for an operation. Her father says she might choke to death. And tonight, as we approach the 80th anniversary of D-Day, we remember those who fought and died for us. Back then, 70-odd years ago, you had a gun. Now you
What was it all for, mate? Aye.
have a stick, John.
Yeah, and we came up with a 303 rifle, and we just come up the beaches like this.
I don't know. I've heard some things. I've heard some things. Shocking things. Well, I'm not going to do it right now. But anyone that knows me, I'll tell you privately. I'll tell you some shocking things. Like apparently, like a lot of these people just were in bases, army bases. None of them actually went out and did anything. I'm not saying this guy. I'm not saying him.
To protect ourselves.
I just cut it off there because Nathan Carter. Yeah, you need a bit of Nathan Carter in a fucking Nolan show. Look at Nolan getting to the bottom of it all there. Like, hold on, there's someone in the back of the audience wants to say something. Like getting his finger out. That means that whole. Hold on. Yes, you, sir, you there, you. Like getting to the bottom of it. And Belfast, just generally Belfast in the background. Just generally Belfast. Getting to the bottom of things in Belfast. That's a subliminal message being portrayed here, I think. Yes, that's a great one. Hold on, go back.
Beaches like this. To protect ourselves.
That's not even funny. I'm not even taking the piss out of that. Like. Kid. He's probably 27. He's probably 27. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that era of fucking Nolan right there, where he's like, hold on a minute. So you're saying, hold on here. That's where like the DP said something and Nolan just went, hold on here. Hang on a minute. You're saying this? Look how much considerably more areas. It's mad. But it was this era. This is the one. This is the one for me. It's when he swept it as her it's when he swept his hair the other way. He came out and was like, my hair's flicked over this way now. Like a woman. Look at the size of him there. I think we watched that episode. Jesus, he was wearing that shirt. I think I commented on it. Like, where do you buy a shirt like that? Peter Worth shirt. Nolan, he's on the square. Do you see it? He was like, it was a cube of Nolan. He's the most fucking, he's amazing.
Good evening. Thanks for joining me tonight. We're live on BBC One. The number comes
Disgusting suit.
on your screen right now. There it is.
He's wearing that disgusting shirt. These disgusting tail, like slightly embellished, like with a navy button. It's just disgusting.
030 30 80 50.
Is this UTV again? It looks like UTV. Isn't it? It's like UTV.
555, because no matter what the news story is, I want you to be at the heart of it. I want your voice to be heard.
Nolan's like he's in the Matrix. He's like an agent. He's like Agent Smith. He's always connected to that wee voice that's coming through that wee wire. Like, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down now.
Wherever you are in Northern Ireland, whoever you are, pick up the phone. We do it on radio. We do it on BBC One. 030 30 80 55 55. So the Prime
That's right. Calls cannot be taken.
Minister has said the sex of a person at birth should define whether the law sees them as male or female. He says the law will look upon whether someone is male or female based on their genitalia at birth and not how they choose to be later in life. The Equalities Minister, Kemi Badenoch, says a Conservative government will crack down on who she describes as predators who claim to identify as female to gain access to women-only spaces. The Conservative policy would mean places such as public toilets, hospital wards, rape crisis centres would be able to legally refuse those who are biologically male but identify as female. Labour say it's an election distraction and that
I don't want to be here for this one.
the Equality Act already protects
Let's skip
single-sex
it on.
spaces for biological women. Brendan has been out and about on the streets of Belfast today asking
here we go.
people if they
Okay.
agreed or not
UTV
with
Live.
the Prime Minister.
Oh, this guy.
We're asking people, do you agree with the
Look where he is. Like, fuck me. We're going into Belfast today to ask people what do they think about fucking we have some stupid question. I'm paid 30 grand a year just to do nothing. And just wear my fucking trampy shit clothes into town and fucking just walk about and ask pointless questions. Where with the BBC? Would you like to ask some questions? What do you think of transgender bathrooms? Just like, fuck up, mate. Just fuck off. Look where you're walking. We walked to the centre of town. Look how original they are. They went right into the centre of this. Like, this is the walkabout. This is officially the centre of Belfast now. Like, the Castle Court used to be the centre. City Hall was the centre. Now this is the centre now. This is the heart. This is the beating heart. Just because it looks slightly better, it's better for TV. Doesn't look as shite as that other road that we were showing the other week. The one fucking Pothole Alley. Fucking Main Street, Belfast. Shithole. Let's go down this wee backwater. Malton Brown. What a bollocks shop. There's actually a Malton Brown physical fucking shop. Hold on, I get down to Belfast here to get some Malton Brown fucking toiletries. Hold on, I need to get some Malton Brown soap right now. Where can I get it? Just go down into the centre, pal. Just park your car in some fucking car park, fucking 2 miles away, and pay £7 and fucking walk into town, walk across fucking town a good mile when you really add it all up, and go to Malton Brown and get some fucking hand cream. What the fuck? Dermatologica has its own shop, like a physical shop. Like, I need some Dermatologica right now. Oh my god, like I need some fucking anti-aging cream right now. I need to go down to the shop to get it. Like, this is all the kind of shit that would definitely be bought online. What is this? Real California burritos and tacos. Okay. So one of those places, just a shit. And that used to be Jack and Jones. So Jack and Jones is finally fucking gone. Or is it still there? Is that still Jack and Jones? Jack and Jones, man. Have you ever heard the like of it? Jack and Jones. Shit clothes, shit name. Look, Masonic Hall. Look, isn't that nice? There's a wee Masonic sign. Let's move on.
Conservative Party that there should
Didn't really move on. They just moved. Just hung around that area. Conservative Party. They don't even know. He has to give them a wee quick lowdown of what the Conservative Party have just said. Fill them in so they can quickly form an opinion on it quickly for this TV camera.
be single-sex only spaces for biological born women.
No, they should not. Women's places are for women and men's places for men. They want to have a third.
Jesus, there you go. What a radical point of view. Common sense wins the day. Women should have their toilets, men should have their toilets. Simple. There you go. End of discussion. Back to you, Stephen, in the studio. Next, what's the next topic? Do you know what I mean? Even talking about this is a waste of my fucking time.
Third place where anybody wants to go to.
I covered Nolan because I thought this would be funny, and it's not. It's just shit.
Fair enough.
Gender neutral.
Gender neutral. Fair enough. That's no problem with that.
I don't think trans women, there's a pretense. They're not well understood. A lot of people think, oh, well, it's a woman's only space. Like, they just want to, I don't know, they're predatory or something. But I know a lot of trans women, they're not predatory.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are
Oh, well, that's okay then. Give them, that's alright. Let them all in then.
women.
A bathroom's a bathroom. If you have no problem using a mixed bathroom in a house. What's the difference in a public?
So you notice the difference between the age, like the young generation are just fucking brainwashed already. Just brainwashed. A bathroom's a bathroom. Yeah, love, okay.
Space?
My opinion.
I don't give a fuck, I'm a guy. I don't give a fuck. Guy comes into the toilet, I don't give a fuck. I go in, take a piss, I walk out. You're the woman. You want men coming into your toilet, fair enough. Good for you.
Everybody's got their opinion, you know. If you were born a man, you're born a man. You're born a woman, you're born a woman. No, I'd be uncomfortable, definitely.
It wouldn't bother me, but I know there is.
It wouldn't bother her, but I know there is other people that would be uncomfortable. Not me though. Not me.
People that would bother.
I think we need to accommodate everyone. Maybe.
This guy is just isn't it just it's such an obvious age thing. If you're 20 years old, it's great.
Have toilets specifically for them type of people.
Well, I think when children are going through puberty, they've
them type of people. Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Type of people. Freaks. Is that what you're talking about?
enough when young girls go through when they start their periods. You don't want a man, you know, in the next
There we go again, an older woman, common sense.
cubicle to you. I think that affords some privacy when you're going through puberty.
It's just a toilet at the end of the day.
There we go, young people, it's just a toilet at the end of the day. Who sent out the memo to all the young people? It's just a toilet. Why do they all have the same fucking response?
You gotta go, and you shouldn't be told if you can or can't.
It wouldn't make me
Okay.
uncomfortable, and
It would make her uncomfortable. Really?
I think if you identify as a woman, then you're a woman. Do you know what I mean? It's
Then you're a woman. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? No, I don't. Chicago. Like bulls for fucking bullshit. It just comes out your fucking mouth. When you're not fucking replacing it with more shite. This dude. Do you know what I mean? Fucking strapping example of masculinity.
I have no right to turn around and go, you can't come in here. You're not a natural woman.
You do.
I just feel it's a bit strange, like mixing together. So I don't know. That's what I feel like.
I agree. They should be allowed in. If a man feels like it's a woman, then he should be allowed in.
There is.
If a man feels like he's a woman, if he just feels like he's a woman, then he should be allowed in. That's so not thought out. You have not thought this out. You haven't thought any, you know what I mean? Who's this guy? I've seen him before.
Some places that there is gender neutral facilities.
Yeah.
Do you think that works?
He doesn't even know what you're talking about. What the fuck is general neutral facilities, dude? What are you even talking about? What a horrible Harrington jacket. It's like in the style of a Harrington jacket. Just shit. Everything this guy is, it makes me sick.
Well, I suppose it works to some extent, but whether it works favourably or not is a different question.
Love it. Great question. That's such a fucking natural fucking diplomat there. I've just remembered who he reminds me of. Do you remember Give My Headpiece? Was there not a character that looked like him? Like Andy? Yeah, that's Andy. That's Uncle Andy. Is that Uncle Andy?
Certainly I prefer ones that are dedicated.
Certainly.
To a definite gender.
I think it fucking is. If it's not, it's someone who looks exactly like him.
Well, Emma D'Souza, writer and commentator, is with me this evening. Hello, Emma.
Evening, Stephen.
Good to see you. And Fiona McKenna, Director of Campaigns
Get it right.
at Sex Matters. Hello, Fiona.
Hi.
Hi, good evening.
No, it'll be someone from down south.
Evening. So, here's the Prime Minister.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah, it's an election period, but how you're born, that's how the law will see you.
Well, I mean, Stephen, that fundamentally undermines the Gender Recognition Act for a start.
Just fucking stop, and it begins. It just begins already. The bullshit. Open up with that shit. Emma D'Souza, writer and commentator of what? Writer of what? Commentator on what?
Trans women are women, and
No, they're not.
Trans rights have been so hard fought for, and we have to bear in
By who? Who fought for them?
mind that this is a vulnerable, marginalized community that is facing a serious amount of abuse and transphobia and threats.
She's actually looking at her notes because she doesn't even know what she's saying. She has to look back at her notes. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you suck.
Threats
Well, some
and
people within the
violence.
trans community.
Threats and violence. Seriously, who the fuck is?
Community, some, not all, but some are quite vocal. They don't sound vulnerable.
I don't think that that's really a fair characterization of the trans community, who in large are a vulnerable community who are marginalized. And I think what we're seeing here in terms of the Tories coming out with this pledge, I mean, they've been in government.
She's like American. I don't want to even hear it. Like, I don't want to hear your half American, half Northern Irish, half baked fucking accent and your half baked ideas. Seriously, I'm gonna knock that cunt out. Like.
Government for 14 years, but of course during an election cycle they're now using what would be described by Labour as a distraction, and I think that that's a fair assessment of what this is. I think that what we see is the Equality Act 2010 already does guarantee single-sex spaces.
But what the likes of Sunak is saying, as you well know, is if you have the genitalia of a man...
If you've got a dick, you got a ear, man. That's what he said.
You're not going to be going into a female changing room describing yourself as a woman, because many women do not feel comfortable with it. Many biologically born women do not like it.
Well, fundamentally that goes against the Gender Recognition Act and it goes against trans rights. Not all trans...
Who cares about the Gender Recognition Act? Who the fuck is that? So banging on about... I don't even know what you're talking about. Back in a minute, folks. I'll leave you with this.
People have fully transitioned, and the reality is that we have gender recognition in many countries where, you know, we have not seen an increase of attacks or anything like this that we're talking about this evening. Take, for example, across the border, they've had gender recognition for over 10 years, and there hasn't been this kind of increase.
But deal with the
in
practicality. Deal with the practicality of someone does not want a person with a penis walking into a female changing room.
Well, I think if you look...
It's not just about changing rooms, is it? People do not want people with the muscularity of a male and the strength advantage of a male playing in a female sport.
Well, if we think about it through this context, right, so the suggestion here by the Conservative...
This is bollocks. I'm moving on. I'm sorry. That could be great. My energy is just not... I don't want to hear from her. Hold on, let's hear this. It's like the lion from Wizard of Oz.
Separate in places where, particularly where women are vulnerable, but there's also an issue with male privacy too. So, of course, most men are good guys, but who can tell which ones are and which ones aren't?
Oh God, they really need to fucking. The sky's blue, water's wet.
If there is people like that about, you shouldn't.
Hold on. Yes, this
Hello,
will be good.
Judith.
This will be good.
Yeah, hello, Stephen. Yes, I feel quite strongly about that. First of all, I agree with the Prime Minister that whatever people you're defined, whatever sex you are at birth, that defines you, right? And if there is people like that about, they shouldn't be allowed to use the same public spaces as others. For example,
first of all,
as a born female, I wouldn't like to use a public bathroom that a so-called person. Was a man or whatever it is, it comes in dressed as a woman. You should have separate public spaces for those sorts of people.
First of all, Judith, the person who is trans, who is in that changing room with you, is not a so-called person.
Yeah.
You then describe to them as it, which is which is offensive, grossly offensive.
Did he say that?
The men.
Okay, Judith is in Belfast. Hello, Judith.
Look at that.
Yeah, hello, Stephen. Yes, I feel quite strongly about that. First of all, I agree with the Prime Minister that whatever people you're defined, whatever sex you are at birth, that defines you, right? Yeah. And if there is people like that about, they shouldn't be allowed to use the same public spaces as others. For example,
first of all,
as a born female, I wouldn't like to use a public bathroom that a so-called person was a man or whatever it is, it comes in dressed
You know,
as a woman.
first,
You should have separate public
first
spaces
of all,
for those sorts of people.
I don't think she meant it like. I don't think she meant it like it, whatever it is. She just meant whatever it is, whatever the situation, whatever way you want to talk about it. Yeah, this guy totally. Yeah, nah, fuck up.
Hans,
Nolan.
who is
I had to go back and check it. So no, Nolan, you're wrong.
in that changing room with you, is not a so-called person.
Whatever the fuck that means.
You then describe to them as it, which is
No, she said whatever it is, referring to whatever their situation is, whatever their whatever their little defining situation is. That's what she is referring to as it.
Which is offensive,
Sorry,
grossly
that's very
offensive.
strong. You
Like
people-
grossly
people
offensive.
say, as the Prime Minister
A human
said-
being is
as
not
the-
it.
hold on a second. As the
Now,
Prime
do not be
Minister said,
ridiculous. Do
you
not
should
be ridiculous.
Don't start whacking your finger like you're a big fucking, don't whack your finger. You're not here to tell people who they are. Do you know what I mean? Or what's right and wrong. You're not the moral authority. Nolan, don't ever fucking forget that. She's getting all like, the woman's getting all like, like she's going, so let's hear it, like let's hear where this goes.
Are defined.
This is not a free
The
pass.
sex you're born with, that is what it should be defined as.
Sorry,
But
you are
I
of course entitled to that
why
view.
can we not have separate bathrooms for them?
You are of course.
Those types of people. Those types. Shit. Is Nolan gay? That's what I want to know. Has Nolan come out yet? Do you know what I mean? Like, when's that happening?
Course entitled to that view, but you are not entitled to refer to people as it.
She didn't. She didn't refer to people as it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
have you got
other countries? See English
got a
language.
brain.
Other countries. Hold on a second. Other languages have male and female indefinite articles, and and then a gender neutral for that. See, well, but English language doesn't like that.
Robin
So
Mora White is a discrimination and employment law barrister. Hello, Robin.
Good evening.
oh God. Oh Jesus. I was just gonna say she has a point there. The English language is built around gender, or if you're gender neutral, then you're just a noun. It's an it. Like that's it. You know, it's it. If you're anyway sentient, like an animal, it's a he or a she. Do you know what I mean? Or a human. Do you know what I mean? Or an animal. Do you know what I mean? It's like you could even refer to the animal as it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, over to this guy here.
Good evening. Well, the Prime Minister knows exactly what he's doing here. He is talking about an issue which is extremely.
How come it's okay when the Prime Minister says it, but when Judith from Belfast says it, he just lapped on it like a cat, you know, like fucking going after the fucking. Do you know what I mean? This is like, just remember, this dude stood outside a fucking garage in fucking finicky and fucking ambushed some guy just getting out of his car and going in to pay for his petrol, just going about his business, doing his day's work. So I never forget that.
Divisive.
He looks like he wants to strangle someone.
In our country. It's been described as a...
Look at that big giant screen. Is that actually in the studio? That's frightening. That's like fucking like something out of James Bond. Like that's like Dr. No. Look. I want James Bond dead. Mr. Bond. You thought I was a woman, Mr. Bond.
It's a wedge, hasn't it? How do you feel after hearing some of the comments tonight?
Well, plainly, I mean, you haven't mentioned that I'm a trans woman as well, but I'm here to talk about law. Now, at the moment, we have perfectly good law that says
You can define yourself as that as you want, but you don't get to define yourself as that in other people's minds. Like, other people have the right, they will define you as they define you. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, we're entering into like thought crime areas here. It's just, that's why I'm against it.
That in very particular circumstances, you can exclude trans people from services or spaces or sports. But there has to be a proper reason. So for spaces and services, it has to be a proportionate means of achieving a legitimate aim. In sports, it has to be necessary for either safety.
The fact that you have to say that, see the fact that we see
and
women's rights were also hard for leave us alone and let us have our own spaces.
Services, it has to be.
Well, like, women always had their own spaces. It's not like they had to fight to get their own spaces. Like, men always afforded them that. It was just, it's called just civilization. Do you know what I mean? This is a great one. Trans women are women, trans men are men. Mrs. Peach, made up name, but if you have to say it, do you know what I mean? If you have to try and convince people of it, then it's not true.
Proportionate means of achieving a legitimate aim. In sports, it.
Do you know what the clue is? Do you know what the clue is? It doesn't. It's not we. It's this we. It's this wee word in front of the woman. Like, women, or if they were women, it would just be women. It would just be women or women. Trans women. That's what lets you know. That's what let you know. That's that wee adjective. Trans men or men. They're not. They're trans men. Trans men are trans men. Men are men. Trans men are trans men. You can't say trans women or women, because even grammatically the language is telling you it's not true. Do you know what I mean? It's like saying 2 plus 4 is the same is 2. Look, 2 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 2. It's not 2 plus 2 is something else. If you look at it like a mathematical statement, it doesn't equate. It's just wrong.
Has to be necessary for either safety, i.e., you wouldn't play male rugby players against females, so it's safety in that sense.
But
why not? Why not? Because trans men are men. Do you know what I mean? And trans women are women, so it doesn't matter it doesn't matter if it's rugby, or it doesn't matter what weight class. Doesn't matter if they're heavier people. And everything you're saying is bollocks. You've just contradicted. You've just disproved your own fucking thesis.
Or fair competition, and the law allows the nuance that allows trans people to live decently and properly.
But of course,
society.
Robin, what the Prime Minister is talking about is about changing the law. So the conversation tonight does not need to rest on what the law currently is. It's about Rishi Sunak saying that he wants to change the law so that how you are born, that is the way you will absolutely, definitely.
That's not changing the law. That's keeping it the way it is, because at the top, like, the banks want to know what you really are. Like, are you a man or a woman? Just so we can put it down in our wee form here, what you really are. So when you go to court, it's like, I mean, all that shit works up to a certain point, but then, I mean, that's for you. All that nonsense is for you. We're serious. We're the government. We need to know. Facts. We need to know the facts.
Defined and referred.
You can live in the world of bollocks, but we need to live in a factual world. That's why.
Referred to in later life, no matter how you see yourself. So you would be referred to, if Rishi Sunak gets his way against your will, you would be referred to as a man, wouldn't you?
Come on. Like, we know why. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious why.
It's not.
If he was born a woman, there would be no issue. It's like, you can't change reality, man.
Referred to, it's the use of spaces and services, and it takes away that.
I hate this whole issue. I don't even want to cover this bollocks. I hate all this shit. Just go to something else.
You're a lively man, I tell you.
And be fit as a fiddle.
Look at the fucking size of him, like. Fucking hell. I've never seen Nolan not in a suit. This is the first time I've seen him in a jumper and chinos. Like, I've never seen this. Like, casual. Like, I've never seen Nolan not in a blue suit with a big, massive collar.
Fiddle?
Yeah.
Listen, I can't get down anymore.
Well, I can get down. Right, 1, 2, 3.
Fuck, he actually can't get down.
You're actually touching your toes?
Yeah.
So let me get this right. There's as far as I can get. 9:38. I can't.
Nolan's 38. No, you're lying. You're fucking lying.
I can't get any further. Hey man, I tell you.
I'm as fit as a fiddle.
It's fit as a fiddle?
Yeah.
Listen, I can't get down anymore.
Well, I can get down.
Nolan's
Right,
my
1, 2,
age.
3.
You're actually touching your toes?
You're lying.
So let me get this right. There's as far as I can get. 9:38. I can't get any further.
When was this? 10 years ago?
Hey.
There are proud pictures all around John's living room. He was stationed in Northern Ireland in 1940, and when he met his wife Florence, it was to become his home. But shortly after they were married, John was sent off to serve in France.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I can't stop thinking about this. Is Nolan the same age as me? Like, could Nolan have been in my class and he went on to be Stephen Nolan? This is
Africa,
fucked up.
Egypt, and
What age is Nolan?
elsewhere.
38.
This is you, young man.
A young man.
38? I thought Nolan was in his 50s. I thought Nolan was like Mark's age or something. Like,
20 years ago, there's a date, 1940.
Yeah.
He might have left Northern Ireland, but all thoughts were of home.
You got the Forces favourites coming through in the radio, and you lay and you listen with the earphone on to hear what was going on, and it brought back memories of the mainland, and then it brought back memories of Florence. I wonder what she's doing tonight. Vera Lynn used to sign off her family favourites there, our Forces favourites. She used to sign off with a good night, sweetheart. And I would lie in the desert there thinking of Florence, and I would say, right, this is it. And I'd say Florence.
it was like a psyop. The whole thing was a fucking psyop. He's lying in the desert. Everyone's got their wee sweetheart. Listening to Vera Lynn every night on the radio. Good night, sweetheart, and we'll meet again. Like, what the fuck is that? I've never liked that song. I've never liked it. It just, everything about a song screams psyop. It was like a whole generation of fucking 19-year-olds just like fucking horning after their fucking misses and like playing this "We'll Meet Again" bullshit song. Fuck me, man.
This is for you, and I would sing, good night, sweetheart.
Nicholas Lyndhurst, great show.
I see you in the morning. Good night.
The Tommies.
Over the decades,
30.
he's been back with his family and other former soldiers to France. But I wanted to go with them so that I could understand for myself why Normandy is just so important to John.
This must have been years ago because his hair is darker or something.
He's asking if you have any knives or guns in your bag.
No.
But he kind of looks the same. I don't know, man.
I laid my gun down in 1945 when the war went over.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, alright, Granddad. We don't hear you fucking war stories, alright? Alright. All six. Go on you go.
John's excitement about returning to France. But in the airport, there are moments of reflection, a chance to think about what happened just a plane ride away. But then the singing starts again.
Don't forget to wake me in the morning and bring me up a nice hot cup of
This has to be
tea. God bless me, kiss me goodnight, Sergeant Major, Sergeant.
Who do you think you are kidding, Mr. Riddler? If you think all England's done.
Major, be a mother to me.
Wonderful, John. Well done.
Wonderful, John. Just stop doing it now. Stop singing now.
In 1944, troops arrived by air and sea with the aim of capturing this coastline and liberating France. John wasn't part of the first wave that made it onto these beaches, but many who were died on these shores.
Back then, 70 odd years ago, you had a gun, now you have a stick, John.
Yeah, and we came up with a 303 rifle, and we just come up the beaches like this to protect ourselves. And today, the sun's shining on us. I have a stick. Everything is calm and
Looks like
peaceful.
Northern Ireland.
I'm back in 19.
Doesn't even, honestly, it doesn't even look like it. Looks like Northern Ireland, like they went up to fucking, what do you call it, like White Abbey or somewhere.
We came up with a 303 rifle, and we just come up the
Newcastle.
beaches like this to protect ourselves. And today, the sun's shining on us.
That's a lot of
I have a
levels.
stick. Everything is calm and peaceful. And back in 1944, it was just air on the beaches. Absolutely, air on the beaches.
The music is fucking absolute wank.
And there would have been some of your friends dropping down here,
Yeah,
shot dead.
yeah. Oh yeah. It wasn't a happy sight. When you looked along the beach, it wasn't a happy sight.
Looking at them today, it's difficult to imagine that these beaches were once battlegrounds. That's why many feel it's history that still needs to be taught today.
Armonge.
Armonge.
Oui. The 6th of June 1944.
Yes.
I went Normandy,
Yes.
France,
Yes.
Belgium, Holland.
John's been wearing those medals everywhere he goes,
he's just doing
and I
one
now
while they're
understand why he takes such pride in them. They invigorate him. Look, he's laughing. That's a Tunisian Jew he's talking to now.
What? Fuck me, Nolan. Jesus Christ, like. Jesus, he looks like Butterbean or something, doesn't he? It's weird how he's dressed there. I gotta hear him say that again. A what?
The 6th of June 19.
That was the weirdest transition. That he just while they were having that conversation, he just jumped into his wee BBC thing. That he just did that. That just shows you how fucked up Nolan kind of actually is. That he can just switch it on like that and do it so naturally. Like, that isn't normal. You know what I mean? Like, normal people wouldn't be able to do that.
44.
Yes.
I went Normandy,
Yes.
France,
Yes.
Belgium, Holland.
John's been wearing those medals everywhere he goes, and I now understand why he takes such pride in them. They invigorate him. Look, he's laughing. That's a Tunisian Jew he's talking to now, who fought in the war as well. Look at the cap that John is wearing. He got
Tunisian Jew. Where else would you get it? Like,
that handed to him in 1939.
look at that hat. Look at that jacket. Look at the way he's tied around his shoulders and all. I mean, look at those shades. Fucking right, like.
When he joined the forces. And there's so many memories to share here that he wants to share, not just with the generation similar to him, but with a younger generation as well. Really, really easy to forget with his enthusiasm. They're singing now. This man is 92.
Mademoiselle from Armentières, Inky Pinky Punky Poo, Mademoiselle from Armentières.
In the towns and villages along this coast, they've gone to huge.
If always set that up, right? When I'm halfway through, just start singing the thing.
Efforts to ensure people remember.
What is that?
But every soldier has things they'd like to forget.
I have nightmares of a Spitfire coming down on the main road above the beach.
Do me a favour, John. Will you close your eyes and just talk me through what your real nightmares are about the war?
I can see that Spitfire trying to make a landing on the main road, which was just off the beach. It was a tarmac road. It was nice and smooth, and the Spitfire, it was smoking and smoking at the tail. And then it started to catch the fire.
This is fucking pointless. This won't go up. Like, BBC's gonna ban this. Like, do you know what I mean?
And when he tried to land on the road, as soon as he touched the tarmac.
And so many died on both sides.
On both sides, but just only show the one side.
Well, John, I have never been.
Fuck me, like Nolan could be a bouncer or something, couldn't he? He could bounce like. He could definitely bounce like.
Been in a place like this in my life before, ever?
Well, you're missing something. It's not a nice place to be, but you think of all the people that's lying here gave their lives up.
Do you know what strikes me straight away?
Yeah.
20 years of age.
Oh, right.
21.
I know this is it, yep.
18 years of age.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All young ones. All young ones.
21.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah.
There's another 18-year-old RG Knight.
Yeah.
Parachute Regiment.
Yeah.
The 20th of August, that was my
What was it all for?
birthday.
Yeah.
1944 is
Yeah.
That's the real question. No one will ever ask. Like.
18 years of age.
Yeah.
Nolan knows what questions to ask and what questions not to ask. Like. Nice roses. I was giving his wee moment, just trying to film it and all, they're trying to catch it and all. BBC, you're just stinking like that. 2024, fucking hell. Nolan's 38.
Here's someone here believed to be buried, so they don't know where he is. And here's someone
Like, I'm
who's
freaking
lost his
out, man.
name. A soldier of the war lost his name because he fought for the rest of us.
No, this is
and
years ago.
John, you know, this character.
Nah, this is years ago. Honestly, I remember these days. Yeah, this was like 2012 or something, I'd say.
That has taken me on a journey. The first ever war cemetery I've ever been in, and the first time in my life that it honestly has really hit me. These people, we don't know if they're here, we don't know their name. There's a 16-year-old over here, 16 years of age. I was thinking of all of the life that I've experienced since 16 and he didn't get a chance to. Which makes it even more remarkable that we've got a 92-year-old to hold on to a lot of those memories and teach us so much that I've never even taken the time to understand.
Fuck me. I just want to know what year this is. I thought Nolan was 38 right now.
Your eyes are filling up with tears.
Well, these men were probably full of bullets. What's the difference from tears to bullets? I'm sorry, Stephen. I'm sorry.
That's what Nolan wanted. He wanted that shot. Fucking hell, mate.
It could have been me, as you say, Stephen. It could have been me.
There's something just hit you there a few minutes ago.
It did indeed. It did indeed. It did.
You're feeling guilty that you're still alive.
I do indeed. Why was I picked? Why did I get home safe? Some of these men, they never got a chance.
I can just imagine how heartbreaking it must be for the mums and the dads of these really
That's it. Just make it worse, Stephen. Go ahead.
young men.
Rub it in.
Oh yes, and don't forget the sweethearts, the mums and the dads. About the sweethearts.
Sweethearts. They don't give a fuck. Dude, sweetest skunk fucking car. They moved on quicker than to worry. They were alright.
We'll be grieving for the young men that never came back, and the children of some of the men. Their children must have terrible thoughts of where their dad is in a foreign country, buried.
That is down her throat.
I'm done. Like, this is fucking...
Other minister in an executive could approve cuts to the health service that is going to render people close to death.
John, part of the story here is also about efficiencies and the public wondering, well, could more money be saved? I'll tell you a straight question I get every time I do a programme on this. Do we need 6...
No one gets paid $500,000 a year. Go ahead.
Trusts? Do we need 6 executives of trusts? And why can't we have one?
Well, I mean, I think the efficiency argument is perfectly valid, and I think there is no doubt that there is efficiency in the system. Reorganising the whole health and social services, putting it from the 5-6 trusts into the one trust, personally, I don't think that's a particularly good idea. We have to understand numbers, right? If you want to understand how you want to run a health and social care system, you've got to understand numbers, and you've got to understand...
You've got to understand numbers. I mean, 6 is 6. I mean, 3 is 3.
In the scale and in context. So by that I mean, if you do some very sophisticated procedures like heart transplants for patients in Northern Ireland, they'll never be done here. They'll be done with a partner organisation either in Dublin or in London, you know, wherever. But lots of local things like primary health and social care, community care, is much, much better organised locally. And you have to have something that's local that can actually understand that if you pull it all into one place, there is a seduction that suggests that if you do that and centralise, you will, 1, save money, and 2, you'll speed up decision processes.
How could you not save money if you're paying for one chief executive rather than 6?
Because, you see, it won't work out like that in the end. Because can you imagine, or can anyone here actually think of the fact that there'll be one chief executive sitting wherever, Derry, Belfast, wherever they locate the person, and there won't be somebody senior sitting in Colin's constituency area looking after Downpatrick? You know, it's not practical to do it that way.
Do you think the public have lost hope that this can be...
What is this table that they have? I've always just looked at this table and what kind of a fucking table this is.
Fixed. Do you think the public should put their hand in their pocket and pay more?
Jesus Christ, Nolan, like... The public needs to put their hand in their pocket and pay for more. He's like, I can't believe he's saying it. Like, yeah, that's what it is.
These politicians are really good, I'm not talking about Colin, at ruling out revenue raising because it's not popular. What is the solution? Is it revenue raising?
It's not. The trouble about all of this is everybody wants the silver bullet, the one-stop shop solution to fix it all. In fact, it's just hard work and a recognition that over a period of time, the story that you've run tonight will still be with us, because you cannot fix this overnight. Yes, we have to have a debate about revenue and revenue raising. We don't charge for prescriptions, we don't charge for social care. I'm not advocating that we should, but we should at least...
So basically, you're going to have to pay for your prescription now because the fucking country can't take care of fucking sick people like they're supposed to.
Say to the public, because we don't do that, you can't have the following services.
Well, you're not advocating because you're not giving your opinion, so you're free now to give your opinion.
Yeah.
Should we be...
only gets $500,000 a year. Do you know what I mean? He wants to pay so he can get good service. He's freaking out about himself. He's like, what if I have a heart attack? I'm gonna go to the fucking Royal, some shit hospital. He's like, nah, I want some private system set up so I can pay.
Be charging more for social care.
I see no reason why we shouldn't have the same model as there are in other parts of the UK, which would mean in some instances you would pay for social care, yes.
And that would be based on the ability to pay?
Absolutely.
So if you can't pay, don't worry, you'll get exactly the same service even if you can't pay.
On the ability to pay.
Would the SDLP contemplate that, Colin?
Well, I think what we need to see is a full suite of suggestions that we could look at. I think it's unfair just to pick one thing and say, would you support that or not? What we need to do is we need to get ourselves a health service that is going to be responsive and capable of dealing with the issues that it has.
Yeah, but it's specifics. I'm looking for specific solutions from specific political parties.
Yeah, but I think that one of the best things that we can do is get together a coherent plan for transformation, and that we can go to the next British government to ask them to invest in that so that we can transform and make our health service able and fit for the future. I think that's what will help to
no one does want to hear that.
Prevent a lot of the issues that we're looking at today.
I would have a different view on things. I think our obsession recently with the debate about money is not helpful. Money is very, very important, but of itself, it's an enabler to allow us to do something. How are we going to be organised? How are we going to deliver it? It's much more important that we take those decisions. So, for example, why don't we have someone who's in charge of elective care across Northern Ireland in terms of waiting lists in the middle of all of that?
Naomi Long. Get her on it.
That's locally.
She's doing fuck all. Naomi Long. She's not a sociopath. She'll sort it out.
Health Minister?
No. Health Minister is not the executive. He is not the man. No Health Minister.
Durkan. Mark Durkan. Get Mark Durkan on it. Sure, he'll fucking guide us through this choppy water.
Is expected to be the chief executive organising this. We publish lists on waiting lists, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 people waiting. It's meaningless. It just communicates that we're out of control. The Minister's job is to establish control on the waiting lists, to do that by having someone in charge of waiting lists, to look at the waiting lists in different...
Constantly just blaming one man for it all. We need to put someone in charge of this whole mess so we can just blame them for not doing it right. The whole system's wrong.
Ways. So, for example, paediatrics, the story you had, eyes, cataracts, orthopedics, general surgery, diagnostics. The solution...
See, I'm glad I didn't watch it to see. It was obviously really distressing. They put on something really distressing for the last 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? We didn't get the. You know what I mean? I'm not. You know what I mean? Fuck you. Like.
To those problems in terms of waiting are entirely different. There is not a one-size-fits-all solution here. So we need to think about it differently because the solutions for all of those problems are quite different. And they are entirely achievable if we put our mind to doing it.
In short, how bad could this get within the next 12 months from where we are now?
Unless we get more coherence in terms of political coherence, commissioning, buying coherence and providing coherence, then I think it will just slowly deteriorate. I mean, at the same time as you see all of these dreadful stories being...
This has been a fucking awful video. I'm ending this now. I'm ending it right now. I'm just fucking ending it. This has been awful. Awful. Awful.